It's a G life, swerving in a G ride. Who bang, homie, clutching on the 4-5. Don't ever slip, cause you do, boy, that lead flies. Cause at the bottom we stay hunting in that moonlight. You hear the click, you hear the bang when we pass by. This ain't a game fool, the riders really earn stripe. That's on the gang fool, forever on that main line. And it's a thin line, so homie better act right. We keep it active, really active up on this side. You hear the whistle as they're throwing up their gang signs. The crime rate in the hood always stays high. Banging for the Varro Trucha for the one time. We stay posted, drinking till the sunrise. We stay posted, drinking till the sunrise. It's that G life, swerving in the G ride. Who bang, homie, clutching on that 4-5. Don't ever slip, cause you do, boy, that lead flies. Cause at the bottom
G-File.
Alright, now starting right here in South Central, you have one of the oldest gangs in South Central. It has to be the oldest gang right here in South Central. You have the Varro 38th Street. Now, the Varro 38th Street is a well-known, notorious neighborhood right here in South Central. You feel me? He's been around right here since the 1920s. So this Varro is definitely an old school Varro. You know what I mean? You know, it's up there. It's on the top 10 list and, you know, like top 15 list of, you know, oldest gangs, you know, in Los Angeles. The 38th Street neighborhood, you know, already dates back, long time. You feel me? And their neighborhood was located right there in South Central, which is Central Avenue to Alameda to Martin Luther King to 41st Street. You know, 38 being, you know, their main turf. You know, on 38 and Gamma is their main like turf, their dojo, their heart of their hood. You know what I mean? Their turf even extends all the way to like north of like 24th Street, between Compton and Long Beach. You know what I mean? Almost by the Alameda Swami. So it extends all the way to over there. You know, we're talking about a large chunk of territory. You know what I mean? Hence why the 38th Street beats it with a lot of neighborhoods. You know, a lot of neighborhoods in South Central. You know, because the territory just stretches. You know, vastly. And even though they got a lot of enemies, they got a lot of homies to combat them, you know, because this neighborhood is deep. You know, they're with the business. You know, you hear about this. As a matter of fact, the 38th Street neighborhood is because of them that the Hispanic, meaning like the Mexican gang culture, hit the news and everything like that with the Sleepy Lagoon murder that they did. Is what it made national headlines. It's what put Mexican gangbanging front and center. You know what I mean? Because they were already aware of like the Bloods and the Crips and everything like that. But this put, you know, the whole Chicano Latino gangbanging culture on national headlines. Hence why they started discriminating against us and you know, this whole circus that we live in now started. You feel me? And not only that, the 38th Street gang, because prior to the Sleepy Lagoon murder, they were known already with law enforcement because of all the rumbles that they would have with the sailors. You know, we're talking about like when they had like the suit riots and everything like that. When sailors would go attack Hispanics or whatever, the 38th Street gang, you know, would defend the raza and stuff like that. They would start throwing putazos, chingazos, and obviously the raza was the one that was getting arrested because they weren't gonna arrest the white man. You feel me? Those were just bad times for the raza in those times, you know what I mean? But the 38th Street is a well-known neighborhood, been right here doing their thing and continuing that strong and representing for theirs. But that's what's up with the 38th Street gang right there. Another neighborhood that you have right here in South Central, you have the 55th Bunch, 55 Bunch. 55 meaning 55th Street. Because that is where they're located. They're located in 55th Street in South Central. Just a small portion of the neighborhood, you know what I mean, near Main Street. So between 54th and 58th is what's known as their barrio. And yes, I know that is roughly was the Playboys gang, because Playboys is over here in South Central, right here. You know, that was a piece of their neighborhood in which the 55th Bunch started as, you know what I mean? And hence why they have beef with the Playboys gang. You know, they have, you know, heavy beef between those two neighborhoods. You know, because essentially they do share territory, because that was Playboys territory first. And then 55th Bunch pretty much started there, you know what I mean? And planted their flag right there. You feel me? Now the 55th Bunch is a more of a smaller neighborhood. You know what I mean? You know, it's roughly a small neighborhood over here in South Central. And they tend to have a lot of beef, but you know what I mean? They're still standing. They're still holding their own. You know, these guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers. You know what I mean? Going at it with all the neighborhoods right there. But it seems like they have a pretty good alliance with Hangout Boys. I wouldn't say that they're clicked up, but I would say that they have a pretty good, relationship with those guys. You know what I mean? You see them hanging out or even ridden sometimes together. So it seems like they do have some allies over here. But, you know, a lot of rivals. But they're still standing right there representing for their Varro, holding it down and putting that 55th on the map, you feel me? But that's what's up with the 5-5 bunch right there. You know what I mean? A shout out to Trusty from 55th bunch. Feed my camarada right there. And shout out to all the homies from the 55th bunch that be doing their thing and putting it on the map. Another neighborhood that you have right here, which I'm pretty sure everyone recognizes, is the Varro Eastside 13. Now, Eastside 13, it is the neighborhood in which, rest in peace, Toker from the Brown side. This is the label where him, rest in peace, Danger, the 13 boys. This is the neighborhood in which those vatos are from. You know what I mean? They're from Eastside 13, a Varro that's located right here in South Central. Also in San Bernardino. You feel me? So they do have different locations, not only just in South Central. And this neighborhood is a large neighborhood, you know what I mean? They're pretty deep, you know, you see them up, you see the activity by these guys, you hear about them, you know, they be doing their thing. The reason they're called Eastside 13 is because they're located in the east side of South Central. That is the reason why it's known as the Eastside 13 neighborhood. You feel me? And you can find them right here on the east side of South Central, obviously, on, you know, 49th, all the way to 13th. They have a large chunk of territory. As a matter of fact, they share the territory with the Bloods. Hence why them and the Bloods have a really, really bad relationship. I mean, when we're talking about beef, this is like heavy beef between these neighborhoods. You feel me? These Varros definitely don't, you know, see eye to eye with the Bloods. You get what I'm saying? You know, they made the news several times with all kinds of homicides and stuff like that. You feel me? So this Varro gets it on and cracking over here. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers. They definitely be representing for theirs, putting it on the map. You know, like I said, this is the neighborhood in which rest in peace Toker and you know, the Brown side camp is from. You know what I mean? And they be right there holding it down for theirs and still representing strong to this day and putting it on the map. But that's what's up with the Eastside 13 neighborhood right there. Another neighborhood that you have right here is the Varro Mojados. Now, Varro Mojados is a neighborhood that's right here in South Central. Wet Town, as it's known also. Yes, and they mean Mojados as in like wetback. They took the insult and pretty much you know, flipped it on them. You know, now the Mojados are the ones that are doing the smashing. You know what I mean? Because remember, South Central was a place where it had a lot of racism, you know, between Hispanics and African Americans. You know what I mean? So they pretty much took, you know, the insult that they would give them and now just apply it, you know, as their neighborhood name, you know, because now they're the ones that are doing the chaos and damage. You feel me? And the Varro Mojados, their territory is pretty extensive. They're on 23rd, they're on 43rd, they're on 49th, they're on 50, they're on 54th, they're all the way to 89th. You feel me? Hence why they have clicas like that. You know what I mean? Like those are their cliques as well. You know what I mean? Depending on which area where you're staying at or coming from, that is the clica that, you know, you belong to. So they do have several cliques, you know, for their barrio. This is a barrio that you do hear about, you know what I mean? They already been right here in South Central since the 70s. And be doing their thing right there, you know what I mean? Representing for theirs, putting it on the map, you know. These guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers, you know what I mean? These guys definitely get it on and popping. You know, these guys ain't no slouches, so you come over here tripping, I mean, they're gonna lay it down. But that's what's up with the Varro Mojados right there, putting it down for their barrio and putting their barrio right there up on the map. Another Varro that you have right here in South Central, you have the Varro Street Saints. Not to be confused with street villains or street criminals. Varro Street Saints is, you know, in the low bottoms of South Central, the down bottoms. You know what I mean? You can find them right there by San Pedro Street and Maple. On 21st Street is where they're located. That's their home base, home dojo. You feel me? Where they get it on and cracking. Hence why they have the clica, the 21st Street Malditos. You know, that's why you see it up Street Saints, 21st Street Malditos. That's the clica. This is the neighborhood in which Wicked from Brown side, this is the Varro in which he comes from. You know what I mean? That's his neighborhood. Definitely putting it on the map right there for them, and respectfully so, because he gets down. He's one of the top best in Chicano rap. You know what I mean? Navarro Street Saints is roughly a smaller neighborhood, really close. Their neighborhood is really close to like Primera Flats, right there in South Central, and Ghetto Boys. So they're in the midst of it, todo el desmadre. You feel me? I mean, like really close to. The only thing that's separating them, their barrio and Primera Flats barrio is essentially just 22nd Street. You know what I mean? That's literally the only thing that's separating these two neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely be on and cracking right there. You know what I'm saying? And not only are they located right here, they also are located on 43rd in South Central by the Avalons, by the Cribs. But that clica over there is a lot more smaller. They're a small neighborhood in general, but right here is home base for them on 21st Street. Where they've been holding it down, even though they're not as large or as old school as some of these other barrios, because Street Saints has only been around since I was told since roughly the late 70s, early 80s. So they're not as old school as some of these other barrios, but hey, they've still been holding their own and been doing their thing right there to this day and representing for theirs and putting their barrio up on the map. Another neighborhood located right here in South Central, you have the barrio Primera Flats. And yes, this is the same Primera Flats as the ones from Boyle Heights. Boyle Heights, obviously, where they originated. This being their second location right here in South Central on 43rd Street. You feel me? In the midst of all the chaos right here in the low bottoms. Now, Primera Flats has already been right here in South Central for a cool minute. Because Boyle Heights, right there in the Liso Village project where they started off, Primera Flats was already an old school barrio as it is, dating back already since, the 20s, right? 1920s. So they've been right here in South Central, I was told, since the 40s, homie. So they already have a long time right here in South Central as well, you feel me? And since they tore down the Liso Village projects, I would have to say that South Central, Primera Flats in South Central is probably deeper now than the actual ones since their actual birthplace, you feel me? So these guys are large in size right here on 43rd Street, holding it down, going at it with all the surrounding barrios. These guys ain't no chumps, homie. They're with the business, well known over here throughout this area, well respected. This is the barrio. Well, Midget Loco comes from the original ones in East LA, but obviously they're all one neighborhood, you know what I mean? So, that's the neighborhood in which he's from. You have a few other people that are from Primera Flats, like Toros, another Chicano rapper that this is his barrio, another rapper named Ghost. They have a few homies that rap that are from the South Central Primera Flats neighborhood. You know what I mean? Go peep out their music. And yeah, these guys are definitely with the business, homie, representing right there for their barrio. Holding it down to this day, stronger than ever, and right there representing in South Central. But that's what's up with the Primera Flats gang right there.